Hey guys, it's your favorite curly space cadet back again. I'm so sorry this review is late, but I'm so happy you're here watching it. We're gonna get into it and then I'm gonna get out the necklace as soon as I can, okay? Anyway. What's good, y'all? It's your favorite curly space cadet back again, and we are back for Salt Lake City. So this is episode 3 and we're back again getting ready to go to Milwaukee. We start with Whitney and Justin and they're packing and they're getting everything ready for the Milwaukee trip that Whitney has planned to take all the girls on. She's gonna show them how cool and fun Milwaukee can really be. All right, y'all? And then we move on to Meredith and Seth. And Meredith is talking to Seth about her ongoing issues with Whitney. And she's just questioning whether or not she should even go on this trip. And Seth, not even like taking a breath or anything, just tells her to go. He says, you should go. Like, bump Whitney. Go hang out with everybody else on the trip. Have fun on her dime. And then, like, just go. Forget about Whitney. And so now we move on to Bronwyn and her husband sitting in her really obnoxiously pink room with her strategically placed Chanel bag right behind her husband's head. You know? Anyways, it's clear that her and Mary are friends because their taste levels in their houses, y'all. Do y'all see those two? They gonna be good friends. They have such similar taste. And when you find somebody who's just as eclectic as you tend to bond. So I'm excited to see the friendship Mary's gonna bring. I really liked the friendship we saw with Mary and Angie this episode. Y'all, they was having some fun. I would go out and hang out with Mary and Angie for like a second or two and then I have to go catch a bus back home. Not a bus, but you know, like a car. But I literally, in my notes, when we get to the scene with Bronwyn and her husband in the room, I literally go, this room is so ugly to me. Just everything in here is just so ugly. I don't like the aesthetic. I love that her aesthetic is her aesthetic. It's unique and it's unique to her. It's just not for me. Next, we get Whitney and Mary on the phone. And Mary is calling Whitney to let her know that, yo, I'm not riding on that plane with y'all. I love an honest queen because I'm not riding on that plane with y'all either. I will meet you there in comfort by myself if I feel like it. And if I want to come with you, I will. I don't think Mary is comfortable with the girls enough to take a flight with them like that. And honestly, I wouldn't take a private jet anyways. I take a commercial flight. I am not. Private jets crash more than commercial flights. Statistics. Look it up. Look it up. Statistics. Anyways, but at least she communicated her to, at least Mary called Whitney and told her that she wasn't gonna fly and she didn't just not show up, you know. Oh right, they gave us the taglines this episode. All right, let's go pull up their taglines and see what these taglines are. So let's get into the season 5 taglines. Heather Gay's tagline: don't play me, I've got the receipts, proof, and the screenshots. We're gonna play off of last season. All right, I wanted something new for you, but if that's what we're gonna keep going with, that's fine. She riding that high. Lisa Barlow: tequila is my livelihood and my lifestyle is always top shelf. Okay. Meredith Marks: I'm known for my tub, but this year I'm bathing in glory. That's definitely a Meredith Marks tagline. Angie Casanavas: I'm gonna get that last name right. You may have been in a sorority, but I'm Greek for life, baby. Yes, you are. Whitney Rose: on my healing journey, I always travel first class. She gonna forever be healing. At least she'll be healing in first class. Mary Cosby: God is my shepherd and you all look like sheep. I like that. Brown. The only muted thing you find in my wardrobe is my black card. That was a mouthful. All right. Those were the taglines for season 5. Let's move on to the episode. All right. So moving on. We move on to Angie and Sean. The Greek glass and drama. Ooh, Angie is bringing drama, y'all. Right now. Angie is bringing drama to the season. So Angie steps out of her closet and she is wearing these Greek glasses, these Greek sunglasses. She's wearing these glasses for this basketball player, Giannis, the Greek god, on this team in Milwaukee that I refuse to remember the name for because I'm not a sports fan and I refuse to let Bravo turn me into one. So she's prepping for Sean for this basketball game, and more importantly, she's got a juicy scoop to tell because Brittany's boyfriend has been sending some flirty DMs to one of her friends, and she's not sure she's ready to bring this to the group, but it's unmistakable what he's saying in these DMs, y'all. I didn't write down what the text message actually said, but I remember what the text message said. The text message was basically Jared saying, yo, listen, me and her are not in a relationship. This is a fake relationship. And I'm not with her right now. I want to be with you. Let me in your bed, basically. So, yeah. I have been saying from the beginning of watching Brittany on my screen, she has been screaming fake to me. Like, everything I see about Brittany is fake, 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 fake. Nothing is real to literally cover up what she's hiding with that situation of hers. So I don't feel bad. You should have brought a better fake storyline, and now you're in the bathroom crying about it later on in the season. So later on in the scene. So we are going to talk about that later when we get there. And now it's 4 a.m. and the girls are all heading to the airport. Everyone is showing up except for Mary, of course. The tension is brewing between Bronwyn and Lisa, and you can feel that tension in the air, honestly. Bronwyn feels like Lisa didn't stand up for her during the lunch in the last scene we got last episode. And so she's holding a bit of a grudge against Lisa for that. And everybody can kind of feel the tension. They're side-eyeing it. And so next we get Meredith showing up, and Whitney goes, I didn't really know Meredith was going to show up until she texted me and let me know that she's going to show up with her caviar in hand. So she lets Whitney know. She moved some plans around and was able to join the Milwaukee. And now we're in the sky to Milwaukee, which they're on a private jet, and it doesn't seem that long from Utah, you guys. But, we're on a private jet on the way to Milwaukee. Heather can't excite... So Heather is talking to us through the scene about how she's so excited about Milwaukee and all this stuff. And it cuts to the scenes of Milwaukee. And honestly, it looks like any other developing American downtown, just basic and bland. And sure, we are going to have a lot of fun on this trip, y'all. Like, can't wait for them to go somewhere else. All right, and now we get Mary dropping a gem of a story. We get Mary dropping a gem of a story, you guys. Mary this season has been giving us so much insight about her life that we did not know before, even though we've known her for almost 5 seasons. She was gone for another season, but now in this scene, Mary tells us a strange little ditty story about her father who used to live near Jeffrey Dahmer, and how every day he'd go to work, he would smell something strange for a few weeks. And, classic Mary with these classic stories. And then she was just like, and of course, just one day it stopped. And he was like, that was strange. Mary, what an interesting story. What an interesting backstory. Y'all should make a bio story about Mary's back life, honestly. And it should be produced by Tyler Perry. And he should do all the casting, and he should write it with the help of Mary. Like, Mary has to be there to narrate her life story for us. Yes. We arrive at the hotel, and at the hotel, the owner of the hotel greets Whitney and comments on how nice it is to see her in person finally. Everybody gets to go to their rooms, and all the rooms are really nice and luxurious. And of course, they look really nice and luxurious, but how much luxury can you expect in Milwaukee? Anyways, we're moving on. Lisa gives us an update about her son, Jack, who's been on a mission in Colombia for 8 months. And he woke up sick with like severe stomach pains. And they don't know what's going on. She hasn't heard any word back about what's happening to him, but he didn't want any help from her. And you know how she felt. She just wanted to hop on a flight the second she heard her baby was in pain, which I completely understand. Moving on, Whitney planned two separate trips for the girls to do. They're gonna go to a Bucks game later on in the evening, but for right now, you can either go to a bobblehead museum, because you damn straight I called her a bobblehead girl. Mary is the comedy on this show, and you guys cannot deny it, and that's why you keep bringing her back, because the show is not funny without her. Honestly, it's not. I stopped watching it the season she wasn't here. I did, and she came. I picked it up when Monica came back, and Mary was here a little bit with Monica. I did. Back to the game. So you see Whitney telling the girls that they're either going to split up and go to a bobblehead museum or to the casino. And I just want to know, how much did Milwaukee pay Whitney and Heather to do this ad for Milwaukee? Because this whole episode is an ad for Milwaukee. Anyways, that's probably how they get everything that they're going to for like half off or a reduced price, because it's going to be filmed and hopefully bring more tourists to the area. Who wants to go to Milwaukee with me, you guys? Show of hands. We get a cut scene of Mary's son calling her for some money, and she's like, "Hey son, you calling, tell me you love me?" He's like, can I have $60? It's just like kids. But after seeing what we just saw in the news, and it's not alleged though, or I'll say it's alleged, but we just saw that he was admitted to rehab. So I do wonder if they're going to bring this up on the show now that it is in the social media sphere. But normally, just because it's in the social media sphere does not mean that the women have to break that fourth wall and bring it to the show. They could have some decorum and not, but with the way that Mary is rude to the other women, I don't see it staying out of the show for long. Oh, so after Whitney and Heather discuss whether they're going to go to the bobblehead museum or the casino, all the girls go and get ready in their rooms, and then we're going to go to wherever we're going. So we get Bronwyn and Angie. Angie goes to Bronwyn's room to discuss that energy shift she felt earlier when they were on that plane. And Bronwyn just expresses to Angie her frustrations with Lisa, and tells Angie that she feels like Lisa didn't stand up for her, and she has a bone to pick with Heather, but she's way more frustrated with Lisa because Lisa is her friend, and Lisa was not vocal in standing up for her when Lisa had the opportunity to stand up for her, and she doesn't feel like Lisa was vocal enough. Angie validates everything that Bronwyn is saying to, fan those flames a little bit, keep her hot in that next scene, so that she actually goes to confront Lisa. And she notes that Lisa and Heather, they gossip way more than they let on. And, she's just dropping that little tidbit for later on when she drops the real tea. Moving on, we get Whitney and Heather talking in Whitney's room, and Whitney reveals that she actually... This is where we get into, is Whitney playing in our faces or what? Because we get Whitney telling Heather, I invited Meredith to this trip as an olive branch, and as a real olive branch, I told her she could bring some of her caviar, and as a peace offering, And she, you know how she responded to me? Her response was, I'm already bringing it. And I thought that was rude. But honestly, what does Whitney expect from Meredith at this point? Whitney has been playing in Meredith's face. You think Meredith wants to pretend to be your friend? I think not. I think Meredith is being as nice as she could fathom in her bone to be to Whitney. I feel like Meredith wants to be meaner to Whitney, and she's being nice for the sake of the show. I'm gonna go with that. All right, moving on. The group splits up. Some head to the casino and some head to the Bobblehead Museum. Angie shows up in her decked out Greek wear. And Lisa rambles on about Mormonism, leaving everybody confused about what she's talking about. At the Bobblehead Museum, we have Mary, Whitney, Meredith, and Bronwyn on a scavenger hunt. And it seems pretty boring. We get banter about their Golden Girl personas, and surprisingly, Mary is bonding with everybody. But again, it's a pretty boring scene. So moving on, at the Bobblehead Museum, we have Mary, Whitney, Mealy, and Bronwyn. And then at the casino, we have Lisa, Meredith, Brittany, Angie, and Heather. Okay? And so at the casino, we're at the casino, and so Brittany called Jared earlier, and he didn't answer her call, and so he texted her back saying, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see your call. And so Lisa takes her phone and says, text him back and say, I'm just having fun with my girls right now. I don't care. And that's what Lisa does. She texts him back on her phone and says, I'm having fun with my girls right now. I don't care. And Brittany's just like, And Lisa gets into this whole diatribe about, he's not your identity. You don't need to always be talking about him on the show. Like, this is all you talk about, basically. And so she's like, he's not my identity. And Angie is just like, eh. And then she's like, well, he did ask me to be his girlfriend. And then we see Angie take a sip. And I'm going to take a sip too, because delusional. I think she's getting so delusional. It's so unusual. Why is this girl acting delusional? I don't get it. Anyways, moving on. Heather and Meredith break apart, and we get a very interesting conversation. Heather is telling Meredith about the caviar thing and how Whitney felt that you were a little rude when you brought that up to her. And Meredith is just like, I wasn't trying to be rude. It's just I was already bringing the caviar. So what does she expect me to say? Meredith then goes on to say, what? Is she going to open a caviar line next? Like, what does she expect or want from me? Because I don't know from the girl, from her interactions with me. It just seems weird. And so Meredith goes on to say in her confessional that, you know what, a good olive branch would be good to have? An apology. And I think that is so very true. Whitney is on here talking about she is extending every olive branch, trying so hard with Meredith. She doesn't know what Meredith wants. And Meredith is just like, said it multiple times to Whitney. Take accountability for what you're doing. Say it to my face what you're doing, and then apologize for it. And Whitney's just like, I don't know what you mean. These are my feelings. I'm healing. All right, girl. And so this is where we get Meredith being messy and bringing up the Alibaba jewelry on Whitney's website. And she's like, you know, I could be messy and bring up the fact that she sells jewelry from Alibaba at a marked up 40% price on her website. But, you know, I'm not trying to be messy. It's already out there on the social media blogs and the people are talking about it. So I, as a business owner, I just want to let her know that she should get ahead of what's going on right now. Like, I've been in the retail space. I know what's going on. But if it comes from me, Heather, she's not going to take it that way. So I don't think I should be the one to bring it to Whitney. And Heather's just like, no. You. Meredith should bring it to Whitney. Meredith, you need to bring this up to Whitney. Heather, producer. Heather, we see what you're doing. But anyway, Meredith gonna do it, I guess. Meredith gonna do it, but I like Meredith is playing the game. She is, even though disengaging, she is playing the game in the way that she wants to. Anyways. And now we're at the Bucks game. Ugh, I did learn the name. I wrote the name down in my notes. So now we're at the Bucks game with the girls, and they meet the president of the Bucks, who takes them in and greets them and takes them to their floor seats to go meet the players, do their workout thing for the game, you know. I don't know. I don't watch sports. Anyways, Angie is decked out in a dang on Greek flag and her blue and white Greek sportsman suit that athletes wear. I know the words. I'm in jest. She walks on the court with this big old flag. It's ridiculous. They meet the players, and then after they do their photo ops on the court, they go ahead up to their skybox. They go ahead up to their skybox suite where they're actually going to watch the basketball game. They're not actually going to sit courtside except for a couple of minutes to get those photo ops during the game, of course. Mary makes this. I don't know if this is I feel like this is a joke. This is Mary's humor. This is a joke from Mary, but the way she's telling it, she's so dang on straight face. I feel like she's saying it to see if anybody is going to call her out. And no one called her out in that room, because she has to know that you do not pee from where you stick a tampon inside of you. She has to know that at her age. Also, she has to know that if she's ever tried to do it. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend that she truly believes that. I feel like that was a joke. And when she talks about it in her confessional, you can see her laughing at the girls for listening to her and just going, oh, that's kooky Mary. She's laughing at them for believing and listening to the things she says without any objection. That's what she's laughing at, truly. Truly. Mark my words. She bullshitting them, and she knows she's a bullshitter, and that's what's so fucking funny about Mary. She be bullshitting the fuck out of them, and no one calls her out on the bullshit. They're just like, oh, the Mary, man. Her. Oh, I don't want her to go off on me. Scaredy cats. Literally in my notes I have, oh my God, Brittany, stop calling Jared. So Brittany is in the skybox trying to call Jared while the girls are sitting in like the stadium seats. And he answers. And Angie and Bronwyn are standing right above her talking hot commodity trash about this relationship. Hot trash right behind Brittany as she is on the phone with him. So the way that production is shooting this is showing us. So Brittany is just talking to him and showing him, oh, hey girls, look, he's on the phone. Say hi. All right, so you get Brittany on the phone with Jared, and you get Angie and Bronwyn behind her, a tier or two above her, talking about how Jared has been texting Angie's brow girl. As Jared is on FaceTime with Brittany, she's telling Bronwyn her brow girl has been getting flirty text messages from Jared talking about he not with that girl. That girl delusional. She act crazy. I don't want her. What you up to? Let's hang out. Like the whole nine. And so eventually Brittany just goes, are you guys talking about me? After she hangs up the phone call, of course. This is why Angie is the center on that picture, holding those snowflakes. This is why Angie is in the fucking center, okay? And so Brittany turns around and goes, are you guys talking about me? And Angie goes, yeah, woman to woman, like, yes, he was texting my brow girl and flirting with her and, like, you know, the whole nine. And she was like, when was this? And she was, it was 2 weeks ago. Brittany gets up. I'm gonna go cry in the bathroom now. She runs to the bathroom. And Meredith is the one to follow her to the bathroom and, you know, woo her as she's crying in the bathroom. Anyways, we get a cut scene to Mary and Angie standing at the bottom of their box away from the drama again, just hanging out and holding up the Greek flag. And so Mary goes to Angie, do you know how to dance? And Angie goes, yeah, I know how to dance. And Mary goes like, no, like for real dance, like for real. And she goes, starts dancing. She was like, no, girl, no, that's not. And then she's like, okay, Angie, I see you got a little bit of moves in you. Then we get Mary dancing too. Y'all, she's coming out of her shell this season. I don't know about you, but she's feeling 22. Anyways, moving along, my notes literally say, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Lisa and Bronwyn. So I didn't know this drama was coming with Lisa and Bronwyn, but when Bronwyn talked to Angie in her room earlier in the day about how Lisa and Heather gossip, apparently Bronwyn told her about this gossip pertaining to Mealy, the new girl in the group. Now, I know we may have forgotten that Mealy is here, but Mealy is on this trip to Milwaukee. And you know why we forgot she was here? Because we forgot she was here. She has not said a thing. She barely said 2 sentences at the Bobblehead Museum. Okay? We get Lisa and Bronwyn heading to the back of the skybox to have their little chat. And Bronwyn opens up to Lisa about how she feels unsupported, and Lisa brushes her off with her usual excuses about how she supports everyone, but Bronwyn's just not buying it this time. Meredith does step in to try and mediate, but Bronwyn is not letting it go, y'all. She's just like, listen, if I did what Lisa is doing, you guys will call me hypocrite. Like, this is not okay. The way Lisa is treating me right now is just not okay. I kind of agree with the way Bronwyn is feeling right now in this situation, that Lisa can talk hot trash about everybody and call it a joke, but when Bronwyn comes up and says what she says, it's not a joke. In the fight where Bronwyn is explaining to everyone how she feels that Lisa can say whatever she wants as a joke, she brings up the example of, well, I did tell Mealy that, Mealy, you might want to talk to Lisa about what she's been saying behind your back as a joke, you know? Because, and we get the cutscene of her telling Mealy earlier, and Mealy going, I guess I need to confront this. So Mealy goes and says, what did you say about me? Oh, Mealy walks up to her and says, what do you feel about my outfit? Because Bronwyn told her to ask Lisa how she feels about your outfit. Okay, so as Lisa and Bronwyn are talking about their disagreement, their situation, Bronwyn is just like, you know, and I did mention to Mealy that she might need to have a conversation to you, and Mealy overhears her name in the conversation. We get the flashback of Bronwyn telling Mealy what you need to ask Lisa what she thinks about your outfit. And so we see Mealy talking to one of the girls, and she says, I hear my name. And she's just like, well, you better go over there and defend yourself. That was Heather. Heather was like, you better go over there and defend yourself. And so Mealy walks over there, and she's just like, Lisa, what do you think about my outfit? I heard I needed to ask you what you thought about my outfit. And the way Lisa defends herself, she immediately throws Bronwyn under the bus and says, well, the only reason I said that comment about your outfit is because, well, Bronwyn said, well, is that Versace? And I said, well, ask Nordstrom's because it might be back there soon. Now, how the hell does that absolve you from saying what you said? Lisa, what the f? How is Lisa going to sit here and say what Bronwyn is saying? Because all Bronwyn said is that Versace? Lisa went ahead and said, I don't know, it'll be back at the store anyways. If it is. Anyways, moving along. Mealy tells them it's not true. It's not, like, you're making that up. That's not true. Like, shut up about that. And then Lisa says, this is where Lisa says, it's not that deep. Like, you don't need to make it that deep. And Bronwyn says, well, here you go saying it's not that deep when you can say all these things and it's not that deep. But then someone else says one thing about you and it's an earthquake and everybody is not your friend. And that is where I agree with Bronwyn. And Lisa goes, I try my best to support my friends. And Bronwyn does not feel supported. And Lisa just like, I try my best to support my friends. I don't know why you don't feel supported. This is just your problem. And this is why you have an issue supporting your friends, because you don't hear what your friend is telling you when they're telling you to your face what their issue is with you. Bronwyn laid it out to her in very clear terms. I really appreciated the way that Bronwyn broke down how she was feeling and what she was feeling to Lisa, because she explained it to her so perfectly. I don't know if I could explain it any better than she did. But Lisa is just not hearing it. And Heather chimes in, and Heather gets her head bit off too, because she's like, and you, honey girlfriend. Because even at this point, Meredith is sticking up for Lisa. Because, okay, in Lisa's defense, Lisa did technically stand up for Bronwyn at that lunch. But the way that Bronwyn is expressing it is, you may have saying you stood up for me, but you didn't faithfully stand up for me enough to where the conversation, everybody would have walked away from that conversation saying, no, Bronwyn was not talking shit about Whitney. There was still doubt in that conversation. So you didn't stand up for me enough to erase the doubt in the room around my name, even though you're my friend. And you want me to faithfully erase any doubt associated with your name, no matter the situation, whether or not I know the truth or not. You want me to do that for you, but you can't do that for me. She laid it out very perfectly for Lisa. Then Bronwyn turns to Heather and said, and you, Missy, if we are going to build a friendship, you need to come correct with how you're talking to me. And Heather's just like, what? I need to come correct to you. You need to come correct to me. And so basically they're having the big back and forth. And this is where we're going to end the episode with the little melee. So we're going to start the next episode right here in this whole conversation argument of it all. But I think Bronwyn is bringing an element of truth to this show that was much needed and much missed in the previous seasons. And now the girls don't know what to do with like somebody like calling them out like on the spot about the BS that they're bringing around each other and making them confront it head on. And Heather would do that, but she's more manipulative like in that situation. She wants to play the cards out in the whole season the way she wants to see it, and she doesn't want anybody to come for her spot. I feel like Heather is intimidated by Bronwyn, and I can see a little bit of that green monster forming. So I'm excited to see more of what this season is going to give me with Salt Lake. This episode, I would say I would give it a it was a little slow. I give it a 7.5. Yeah, I give it a 7.5. It was a little slow though. 7.5. But thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below about what you're excited to see or what you saw in this episode that aired today, because it's airing today. I'm so far behind. Anyways, leave a like, comment, and I love you guys. See you next time.